Welcome everyone to my last short update of 2021. As I reflected on the year, I was reminded of a quote from Niels Bohr, Nobel laureate in physics, who famously said, "Prediction is very difficult, especially if it's about the future." To test that premise, I took a light-hearted look at predictions from economists from the big 5 banks here in New Zealand. One of the key market indicators in New Zealand is the official cash rate, or OCR. The OCR is the interest rate that the Reserve Bank charges registered banks in New Zealand on their settlement accounts. Think of it like the overdraft rate on a current account. It influences all other interest rates in New Zealand. Setting interest rates for mortgages, personal loans, credit cards and term deposits is the key task that banks undertake. It is certainly the biggest determinant of their profits. By deduction, bank economists should be really good at predicting interest rates. After all, the collective profits of all of the banks depend on it. So how did they go? The average of all 5 predictions was 0.07%, a fall of 0.18%, although most of the economists actually predicted no change. As we know, the OCR actually finished the year at 0.75%, an increase of 0.5%. 2 of them were directionally wrong, the others were just wrong. Not a particularly good start. What about inflation? Bank economists are deluged with economic data. They attend briefings with the Reserve Bank, get updates from analysts and from their parent companies in Australia, if applicable. They have access to a lot of information. The average of all 5 predictions was 1.32%, a slight decrease from the 1.4% that inflation ended 2020 at. Only 1 of the 5 predicted an increase, and they were all wrong, some of them really wrong, by the end of 2021. 0 for 2, I'm afraid. The purpose of this update is not to tell you that bank economists are useless. They're not. I really like what they have to say. They're interesting, informative and entertaining. The purpose of this update is to remind you that prediction is very hard. Chief economists with access to all of the economic data they could wish for and working alongside other economists and analysts still get these predictions wrong. Niels Bohr won a Nobel Prize in Physics in 1922, was a contemporary of Albert Einstein, with whom he debated a key aspect of quantum mechanics and won, contributed to the Manhattan Project, and had an element named after him, bohrium. And he said that predicting was very hard. If there is anyone who was qualified to make predictions, it's a physicist who outpointed Albert Einstein in a debate. Any investment strategy that relies on predictions is likely to be based on poor information. A better investment strategy doesn't rely on predictions that will probably be wrong. Thank you all for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I look forward to updating you again in 2022.